With the government back home now officially in crisis, it was left to David Lidington to tour Brussels, preparing the ground for the extension request that's on its way. We don't know what he said, he wouldn't tell us, but we do know the message he was asked to send back to Theresa May. Chief negotiator Michel Barnier put it more bluntly than anyone.
The key questions will be: does an extension increase the chances for the ratification of the withdrawal agreement? If not, what would be the purpose and the outcome of an extension?
Ministers from the rest of the EU were meeting in Brussels this morning, keen to work on anything except Brexit, but always being dragged back to it. Your attitude on an Article 50 extension?
We are really exhausted by these negotiations, and I expect clear and precise proposals of the British government why such an extension is necessary. It's not just a game. And from the French Europe minister, who jokes that she calls her cat Brexit because it asks to go out but then never leaves, the same message on the conditions they'll be demanding. Will President Macron insist on really strict conditions?
It's not a question of really strict condition. We need an initiative. We need something new. Because if it's an extension to remain in the same deadlock where we are, how do we get out of this deadlock? This is a question for the British authorities. They have to come with an initiative, a clear one, a purpose, credible and supported by a majority.
Away from Brussels, Council President Donald Tusk is still touring European capitals, in Dublin today, trying to ensure that when the extension request comes, the EU speaks with one voice.
I've lost track of time.
If Ireland's Leo Varadkar is finding this confusing, Germany's Angela Merkel has admitted too that she's having trouble keeping up. I have to admit, she said, I'm not too familiar with the rules of the British Parliament from the 17th century, but now we have to wait and see what Theresa May tells us. They know here in Brussels that everyone expects an extension will be granted, and it may well be. But given recent history, there is a real chance that when Theresa May addresses her fellow leaders at the summit here on Thursday, they won't give her what she asks for. With that in mind, Michel Barnier finished his remarks tonight with the words, "Everyone must now finalise all preparations for a no-deal scenario." James Mates, News at 10, Brussels.